Hi, good morning. It's Tanny the Canadian Stamper. Happy Sunday morning. Usually I craft on Saturdays, but we were on a road trip yesterday, Kate and I with some other demonstrators, and so we're crafting today instead. This is what we're making today. We're kicking off some fall, but first I'm going to show you the make and takes. Make and takes are when it's kind of, you know, the card buffets that I show you, that's the in-person crafting every month on the first Saturday of every month. So the make and takes, it's essentially the same thing. So there was 32 demonstrators yesterday got together at Clay Tree Society in Nanaimo. And so it's $20. Then the money is donated. Susan Easter donates the money to something that the Clay Tree is looking to fund for their not residents, but participants who are at Clay Tree. Anyways, and then we have swaps, which is you make cards and you get them all back. So I'll show those in a separate live. And then you do make and take. So similar to the card buffet, you basically have a table and you have all of the kits made for you, and the person who designed it walks you through. So we have some fun ones. This is probably my favorite. Kate, morning. I see you jumping on. I wonder, tell us when we're going through the swaps, or not swaps, the make and takes, which one was your favorite? And then we'll do some crafting. So let's get to it. I have things to show you. All right, so the next demonstrator event is going to be on January 24th it's called Cedar, which is up island on Vancouver Island. All right, so the first one, I'm going to do my best to try to remember who all made these, and then if anybody is jumping on and was there yesterday or knows, including you, Kate, this one's done by Melva Peters. Melva. And she's up island in Ladysmith. And so this is the snowflake. And then these are the gusseted bags from the Halloween suite. And she's got a couple of Lindor chocolates in there. So that's super cute. Okay, this is my favorite. Kate, I think you said this was your favorite as well. So this is cased from the Paper Pixie. And shoot, I don't remember the name of the woman who did this one, but by the way, if you do watch this, she has beautiful skin. She's beautifully tanned. I don't know where she was recently, but I commented yesterday and said, I think she's been somewhere. I was jealous of her tan. Anyways, I digress. So this box is put together, and then this is a separate piece, and then this is a separate piece, and then it's got a little magnet on there. So it does that. Okay, truth be told, there was some candy to put in here, but I ate it. I ate it before I even made the project. So let's see if this fits. There. This is my little fidgety thing that I use. Okay, I digress. There. So that's that guy. It's a little book. Oh my gosh, you could make a few of these. I need comments. One moment. Hey, listen, a moment of vanity. I saw that I have 699 followers. So if you don't follow me, could you follow me? Because I want to get to 700 today, because that would be a nice little Sunday bonus. All right, this is the next one. This is Tammy Cooper. Fun fact, Tammy is also my cousin, and she makes gingerbread, 3 little gingerbread stars. I will eat those later today, faux show. So her make and take that she did for us was with a gingerbread suite. So we got to do this gingerbread card, and it opens like this. Isn't it adorable? And because she's like, well, I don't think that this is enough. So then she wanted to do a tag. And then she said, well, the tag is kind of not enough on its own. So you have to have gingerbread to go with the thing. So this is all one make and take. She's adorable. And then all of these are extra pieces. So at the make and take station, you got a kit like this, and it had all the bits and pieces, and then you grabbed a bag of cookies, and then you got to kind of decorate your own. So from all of the pieces that she had die cut, you could decorate your gingerbread man. And then you could also stamp, and then she cut out these 2 labels, and then you could, from your bits and pieces. And so you've got all these left over to play some more. So that was awesome, Tammy. Thank you. And then this one is from Kathy Newman. And Kate was actually talking about earlier in the day. What's this stuff called, Kate? Oh gosh, look at your comments. Thank you for commenting. What's this stuff called? Pearlized something. Anyways, this is in my cart currently. This is the, shoot, what's this called? Northern Lights. So this is the Aurora Borealis. My friend Jessica lives up in Yellowknife, and we went and saw these. We built an igloo and we had good times. Anyways, this is a card. So this is the designer series paper. I think Kate and some other people blended the Aurora Borealis. I did not. I think it's just beautiful the way that it is. And then there's this pearlized stuff that goes over top to give it a bit of a shimmer. And then this is heat embossed in silver. And then the tree die cuts is from the bundle. And then a little piece here on the flap for the card, or for the envelope. Okay, and then Miran did this fun fold. Watch this. Okay, so this little guy is adorable. And then watch this fun fold. Isn't that cool? So it goes like this, and it sits like that. I'm casing this one for sure. So I think Miran was gonna send us the measurements. How big, where's my ruler? How big are these strips? These are 1-inch strips, and there's 4 of them. I have no idea how long they are because it's a whole, I don't know, but I'm hoping to do this one to case it with something else. So that was cool. And then this one, Susan Easter did this one. This is the Peaceful Wishes, I think, bundle. And then this scripty Merry Christmas. I don't know where that's from, but it so satisfying when you stamp that and put it down. It's beautiful. And that Secret Sea. So this is a little envelope that comes with the dies. It's in the dove's mouth. Yeah, she made all these little bows with, I think Kate does the same technique with the fork to make it perfect like that. All right, so these are the make and takes from yesterday. Fun, right? I love it. So those are all for another day. All right, so let's get to today's project. So we're using beautiful pumpkins. This is the card we're gonna make. This is also one of the cards from the Craft and Chat last weekend. Let you have a little boo there. So these are 2-step stamping, which is kind of the technique that we're doing today. 2-step stamping. So let's look, and then, okay, so here's the dies. This isn't all of them. I have some of them ready to go because we have to die cut these leaves. But these leaves, they're super fun. I dig it. Oh, and this piece down here, this is from the, you know, that massive set with the, here it is, that Jackie lent me. So the dies with the letters and then the dies with the banners. So I used a small one and did this banner piece. It's got a nice little sort of curve to it. It's quite pretty. Gail, the Merry Christmas is from an old stamp set. Ooh, maybe it's a duplicate then because the girls are only allowed to use current stuff. But it's not unusual for Stampin' Up! Sometimes to take different stamps and duplicate them. So it's good to know. All right, so here's 2-step stamping. If you're new to 2-step stamping, I'm gonna give you a little rundown quickly. So you've got, clearly this one is darker and this one is at the top. You could use 2 colors if you wish. Use the lighter color. If you're using 2 colors, use the lighter color for the base and then do the darker color for the top. Seems counterintuitive, but so I'm going to show you with these small ones that we're going to do, but the big ones help. So this is more of a solid image. If you're going to use 1 ink color, like we're going to use today, pumpkin pie, you're going to do 2nd generation stamping for to make a lighter color for the dark or for the base. And then for the top part, you would use full strength. So I'm going to tell you what the first and second generation stamping is. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. So grateful to have a friend like you is the sentiment we're going to use. So let's stamp our sentiment after we go through our pieces for today. So let's leave this guy over here so we know what we're making. So here's all of our pieces. So very vanilla base. This is an envelope. Decorate that if you wish. I've got some, this is Timid Tiger. It's very close to pumpkin pie. It's good enough for me as far as coordinating. Here's these dies that coordinate. So if you, sometimes Stampin' Up! Will have the number of the die on the back. So if you find a random die and you're like, where did that come from? Just have a peek. If it's got the number, pop that number into Stampin' Up! Search and it'll bring it up. Other ones like this, I mean, you're kind of hooped, you don't know. But if it does have a number, then you can figure that out. So this piece is for our pumpkins. There's a side piece, or not side piece, this is the banner piece. It's really kind of this big, but I just don't need it to be that big. And then I've die cut our little stems already. And then I don't know if it's current or not, but I've cut some of the leaves in copper foil paper because copper just goes so well. And then that's a piece of designer series paper from the, it's not a, the bundle is the stamp set and the dies, and then there's designer series paper that goes with it. So that's on that side. So this is Calypso Coral. And then this is just an extra little piece, which is right here, just to, I mean, it's optional. You don't have to use that piece, but I've put it together. All right, so there's all of our bits and pieces. So measurements and PDF download will be in the tutorial, or sorry, in the PDF download later tonight via the newsletter. So we're going to stamp the sentiment, just tap, tap, gentle, kind of towards the bottom part of here. I've got this mat because it's a cling stamp. Nailed it. Let's leave that open because we're going to do our two-step stamping. All right, good morning, Wendy. Glamorous banners. Thanks, Kate. What's going on? Cosmic Shimmer. You have FOMO, Kate, for this set? Well, that happens to the best of us. All right, so let's do our pumpkins. So we've got this strip right here. So there's our base and then our top layer. So we're gonna take our base. I need a scrap piece of paper. All right, so Craft and Chat is gonna be, it already happened for September, but Craft and Chat will be available, October 4th is the next one, which is also World Card Making Day. All right, so here's two-step stamping. We've got our solid and our top layer. This is first generation. I've just inked it up. We want second generation. So stamp it off once, and then this is second generation. Beautiful. I'm going to do 2 of these, and then I'm going to do one in Cajun Craze. Sorry, I think I said Calypso Coral. I lied to you. First generation, second generation. Just like that. So let's get rid of that. Now, I'm just going to use the other side to pick up the top of my pumpkin. So to line up, you can't do two-step stamping with with cling stamps. You can only do it with photopolymer. So you want to try and pick something and try and line it up. So I'm choosing where the stem will go. So I'm going to pick up full strength, first generation, and then I'm going to get my head right over it, and I'm lining up just that top piece. It's pretty forgiving when you do two-step stamping, and then that's when you get the 2 steps, which adds dimension. So let's do it again. Lining up, Nailed it. It's cool, right? It adds a nice look to it. So let's do same in Cajun Craze. Yes, Wendy, we did this card last week. It's good. Now you know, now those who are here or even not here, then you can replicate it. Okay, so first generation in Cajun, oh, pardon me, second generation in Cajun Craze. Yep. So I've just flipped that over so I get this other one, and we're going to do full strength. So lining up the stems, just like that. So this one is slightly off, I guess. It doesn't really matter because it's quite forgiving, you know? Where's my stems? So we're gonna die cut, and then this little stem is gonna go right there. All right, so there you go. Two-step stamping. Now you're a pro. Let's get these cleaned off so I don't make an inky mess. All right, so let's die cut, and then we will assemble. So we're gonna use the mini. So quick instruction if you're new to die cutting. Stamp, cut, and emboss machine. You're gonna have your 2 layers. So your base layer, 1 plate. This is garden green with our dies. And I'm starting with the ones where you don't really have to line them up too much. You just put the dies down on the paper. You're gonna put your number 2 plate to make a sandwich, hold it there, let it grab, and just feed that through, and then wait for the magic. Good morning, Terry. Thanks for joining and coming along. All right, so then I'm gonna do, so this is a pokey tool. I'm gonna flip this around. Sometimes the dies pop out, sometimes they need a little push. I was watching another demonstrator, and one time she called these ejection slots. I think slots, ejection slots. It seemed very technical, but it's true. And a tip, if your dies, like even if you're popping them out, and actually there's one little piece on this one actually that gets a bit cranky. This one, this little piece right here, gets a bit cranky. So if your die, your paper doesn't pop out of your die nicely, take your die, get a piece of parchment paper, and run your die through. Instead of cardstock, use the parchment paper. And then, I don't know why it works, but then things will pop out of your die better. So this one, it gets a bit cranky right here on both of these. So I take my pick tool and I'm lining it up in the track under the cardstock here and just giving it a little pop. Some of my dies do this, not all of them. Not really sure what the reason is for that, but that's the fix. Parchment paper, that pops right out. Sometimes my dies will do this, like have a tough time coming out once I have like used them a lot. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit tricky, more tricky die cutting, which is when you need to line it up. So this is our pumpkin, so we're gonna do this 3 times. So you can just line it up like so and eyeball it. So let's try that first. My recommendation would be to line it up on the plates, and then when you put this one down, you're gonna squeeze here. Try not to slide, because if you slide, then the die is gonna move away from the image. So just kind of hold on to it until it's really under the grabber, and then I know it won't move around. Okay. So there's our one pumpkin. So now the other option for die cutting is that you can put a little piece of washi tape, which I do not have washi tape. I don't do washi tape very much. So I take a little Post-it note, and if your dies move around, So you can just add your little Post-it note. If you line up your die and don't have anything to help stick it down and it doesn't come out quite right, then just take your snips and trim around the outside. So Post-it note will pop right off. If you're using washi tape instead of a Post-it note, then sometimes just sort of unstick your washi tape a little bit because sometimes it'll rip the paper. And then we'll do that one more time. So we're lining up. We'll do this again because it's sitting right there. Yeah, so you can use the Post-it note multiple times. And in fact, you could have ripped that Post-it note in half. You don't need much to hold it down. I suppose the more warped your plates are, the more warped they are, the more stickiness you might need to have to hold them down. So you can buy the replacement plates from Stampin' Up. How often do I go through plates? Maybe a couple a year, but I do, you know, classes and a lot of crafting on my own. So the average crafter probably can get away with plates for a year or maybe even more. So you can see how some of them warp just a little bit. And so you can flip them over, but to help with the warping, but all of this mucky muck on here, totally normal. If you use certain types like the copper foil and whatnot, it might pick up a bit of this. So if you have marks on your cardstock, then it might be time, or they're warped, it might be time to change your plates. But you can get those from Stampin' Up. All right, let's assemble now that we have all of our bits. All right. Oh, hi, Carol from Lake Michigan. Nice. All right, so we have our standard A2 size card base on very vanilla. So this one comes together pretty quick. So this is just your basic layer, a 1/4 of an inch down from your base. And then I will give you the measurement for the other little one. Let's see how I go with my glue today. Oops, that's not right. This one I want to glue. First things first. So I also participated in the swaps. So a swap, if you're new to swaps, is when you make a design, say like this one, and then you replicate it however many times based on how many people are participating in the swap. So there's 13 people participating in the swap yesterday. So I made 13 of my card, and then you go to the event, you turn in your bag of 13 swaps, then you get back a bag of 13 swaps that are all different. All right, so I'm gonna use my silicone mat because I'm gonna make a bit of a gluey mess. And with my little stems, a little kiss there. So the silicone mat will stop my work surface from becoming a gluey mess. So you can use this for hot glue gun or wet glue or your runner, any adhesive, and it's silicone, so once it dries, it just rubs right off. It's amazing. All right, let me tell you how big this piece is. This is 3 by 3 square. So we're actually gonna, so I've got my little glue here. So I'm just gonna rub that off because I'm gonna pop this guy up. After I have this little teeny tiny piece. What's this one? 3/4 by 1 1/4. So this one is gonna go like about here. And then our sentiment is gonna go here. So see how I've measured that perfectly? Just kind of like I knew what I was doing, kind of. So we're gonna add, oh, look at that, I picked the right corner. I already had my glue there, so that's stuck already. So now we're gonna add this. Then we're gonna pop up the whole shebang. So we're gonna put that there. Then we're gonna line this one up. there. Nailed it. Then I'm going to show you what happens with this glue. All right, so while this is drying, okay, so here's my glue. It's not quite dry, but it'll still work. So I'm just taking my finger and rolling it like this, and it just comes right off. And then it's not sticky. It's magic. All right, so here's our dimensional. So these are my minis, but I've got the outsides are quite thick. So I chopped all the outside from the minis to make my bigger dimensionals. This card still looks really pretty if this is just down with no pop. Or some of you going, oh my gosh, Tanya, that's a lot of dimensionals. I hear you. I hear you. All right, what else do I have to tell you about? Oh, you missed a lot, Sherry. Okay, yeah, well, that's okay. So my replays go up on YouTube after usually, well, the same day usually. And so if you prefer YouTube, sometimes it's hard to find stuff on Facebook. So you can also find it on YouTube. And then after 30 days, Facebook deletes it. So you can always go to YouTube. And yeah, and then the newsletter will have the PDF, and it will also have a link to the YouTube tutorial, so you can find it there too. Okay, so we're gonna line this up. Beautiful. And then we're just, oh shoot, forgot to put my whatchamacallit, ribbon down. So if I was to wait and do this, try and pop this in like a few minutes, I probably would not have so much success because I just popped it down, so it's a little more forgiving. It'll come up. So if you make this mistake and you're able to pop it up, when you're going to put the ribbon down, depending on how wide your ribbon is, my dimensionals are right here. So if I put this down, my dimensionals may not stick to the paper, so just kind of be mindful as to where the things are underneath. So there's that. Like I totally saved the day, so that can go down because now we're all loosey-goosey. I need something to hold this down. All right, so this one's so you can see from the, we're just tying a bow, we're tying a knot. I'm not even gonna attempt a bow situation. Like so. And then we're going to fasten it down with the glue dot. So just a simple tie. Am I making it look simple? I'm not making it look very simple. Okay. And then we'll trim. Beautiful. So let's get our glue dot. So if you, I don't want that popping up. So we're just gonna grab a glue dot or two. One here. I think that's good actually. So let's trim. All right, maybe one under the knot. All right, so the shopping special this month is you get access to the magical fun folds. So 4 fun folds. This is a class from last year. If you participated in the fun fold class last year, I have a different gift for you. So any purchase, you get access to the videos. If you have a purchase over $60, then I will cut all the pieces for you and mail you the kits. They are, I mean, Kate did 2 of them and then I did 2 of them. And Kate's are way more fancy. I feel like Kate's is fancier than mine. But they are magical. Okay, and so you could pop these up as well, and then I'm going to add this garland afterwards. But we're just kind of putting them down where we want them to go. I might actually pop this last one, because why not? So the Craft and Chat for October 4th is almost full, if not full already. So if you're interested in joining, then please message me as soon as possible. Where's my copper pieces? There we go. All right, so now you're just gonna play and kind of put them where you want to put them. Now that I've popped up this pumpkin, this is a little more tricky. So we're actually gonna have to pop part of this up and part of it not up. So this leaf is gonna get one, and this leaf is gonna get a dimensional. And so with the fun folds, the videos are private YouTube videos, 4 of them. And then you get all the measurements and everything, of course. So that's a little bonus. So these are bendy. So you can, if you want them to arch more, then it's possible. And so I'm using these copper pieces and these other little pieces just to add to the vines if you need, you know, if you want that to be a thing. So we're gonna just add a little bit. Right there. So some other demonstrators that did not join us in Nanaimo yesterday, because not every demonstrator is on Vancouver Island, participated in something called the Silver Sisters, SSS. So that's a different bonus for being a demonstrator within my lineage, thanks to Sue Phillip, who's also on Vancouver Island, and her Silver Sister demonstrators. So that's a private Facebook group, and it's a whole day of project making and wonderfulness. Shout out to the SSS. There's a lot of perks to being a demonstrator. Crafty community. What do you think of this card? Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, or if you even have this pumpkin set, because fall's my fave. Might just, I don't know where to put you. So this copper piece is just gonna go under here. The copper just adds a nice little touch, hey? Carissa, you loved SSS. So many good projects in there. I love our crafty community. I kind of want one to go here, but I'm gonna mess up my sentiment. So, oh yeah, that's happening. That's fun, because, you know, vines, they come out of everywhere. All right, we're coming to the end. If you're just joining, I'm gonna just do a quick review of the make and takes from the demonstrator event yesterday. If you'd like to stick around, I'd love a thumbs up, like the page, and join the newsletter list if you want to get the projects each week and the PDF download tutorial that goes with. So there's our variation. This one, the pumpkins are the same color, but this is Mossy Meadow, and then this is Garden Green. Maybe you can tell me which one you like. The Mossy Meadow goes with the designer series paper. I kind of like the extra little bits. All right, so let me show you if you're just joining again, let me show you the make and takes. So there's this one here. Oh, I may have missed it in the in the comments, but if there's someone who knows the wonderful lady who made this, I think she cased it from Paper Pixie, who's a demonstrator in the States. And then Tammy Cooper did the gingerbread tag and gingerbread card, and then made us gingerbread. Melva Peters did this beautiful snowflake, and then a gusseted bag, which we modified and put in a couple of Lindor. Susan Easter designed this beautiful card. Miran did this fun fold with the little snow person. So cute. And then Kathy Newman did this one for us with lighting the way. I think that name just came to me. With the pearl essence, I think it's called. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on there, but it's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining on Sunday Morning Crafting. I'll get the newsletter out to you later today. Feel free to join us at the next crafting event if you wish. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and we will see you next weekend. Bye for now.